Alright, so I'm going to show you how to remove these two error answers for here question 3, page 3, and question page 4. So the goal right now is to recode all 4 questions so that they can only have answers 1 and 2. So let's go to transform. We're going to recode into different variables. Sorry, I meant same. We're going to go to recode into same variables. We're going to not just choose the last four, but we're going to choose these two as well. So you want all 4 page questions here. And what we're going to do is we're going to recode these. So the values, we're going to rechange these so that we can have 0 meaning 0, 1 meaning 1, and 2 will become a system mistake. So I've already added them here, but those of you who want to know how, you just type 0 here, make sure the value is 0, and then you add that. So since it's already there, it's going to show it, but let me remove all this to show you. It's going to go 0, and add value, make sure that means 0, we want to keep that. We want to still keep the answers 1 equals 1. But then we want to remove the answer 2, right, because those are errors. And we're going to click System Missing, and that will make sure that it removes all answers that are 2 and put them back into a period. Let's continue, and we're done here. So we're just going to open out. You'll see that there's a syntax here showing what we just did. So all 4 of these questions will then no longer have any options for 2. You'll see there's no 2s anywhere at all. Nope. Okay, so let's rerun the frequencies for these to show you how the 2 disappears. Let's analyze descriptive statistics, frequencies. We have little page questions. I think we still have all the central tendencies. Yep, all clicked off. Okay, so here's a repeat frequency here. And page 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 doesn't exist anymore because we have coded that out. Alright, so now that we have a concrete yes, no answer, how do we then look at it so that we can see the sum of each page question? Like, how do we know if people answered only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? Right? So now we want to see that. To do that, we're actually going to add a whole new variable here, and we're going to make it into the sum of the page question. So we're going to go to transform, and now we're going to go to compute variable. Here we're going to name it page total. Remember not to add any spaces in it, and we're going to do page 1 plus page 2 plus page 3 plus page 4. Now if all these weren't there, I would just click on it, right? Page 1. Remember, they're not named the actual variable, they're labeled. So you're going to have to go by the question name. Okay, so page 1, make sure you add a plus sign. And then double click on page 2, and do plus sign again. And keep going until you have all 4. Make sure it's titled, no spaces. You don't have to do any of that. And you're going to go OK. So again, you're not going to see anything other than a syntax because right now you've manipulated the table, not the frequency. So look here how some of them have 0 and they haven't answered any, or they said no to all 4. Those with the dot mean they didn't answer all of them or didn't answer any. 0 would mean they answered none. 1 would mean they answered 1 of them, yes. 2 would mean they said yes to 2 of them, and so forth. Now that doesn't really mean much other than that it shows us how many people have answered, right? So now we want to make it a little easier for us to look at it even more. So now we're going to run a frequency for the categorical, meaning we want to see how many means that they need help with drinking, meaning that they have a problem, and how many would mean that they don't have a problem. So in class we defined that if they have said yes to 2 or more, they have a drinking problem, and anyone that less than 2, so either none or just 1, does not have a drinking problem. So now we can say that, if we go down the line, we can say, well, this person doesn't have a drinking problem because they said no to all of them, and this person does have a drinking problem because they said yes to 2 of them. But to go through all 500 of the people that answered the questions and add that up, that's a lot of time. So we're going to shorten that time by making a whole new column again that shows us, do they or do they not have a drinking problem? Okay, so now we're going to go to transform, and we're going to recode to different. Now we're going to go down to cage total, because that's the one that we're trying to manipulate, none of the questions. We're going to name it cage total 2, just for now. Click change. And then we're going to see this, and we're going to manipulate the variables so then we can see whether each subject who did answer them either yes has a drinking problem or no does not have a drinking problem. So we're going to remove all of these. Let's do it from the beginning. Yeah. So remember how before we recoded 2 as system missing and so forth? Now we're going to recode it to see whether answering 0, 1, so far all the way to 4 is either yes, they need a drinking problem, or no, they do not have a drinking problem. So first one will say 0, so they said yes to none. That would mean no, they do not have a drinking problem. So in this case, 1 means no drinking problem, and 2 is going to mean yes, drinking problem. So if they answered 1, and they said yes, they have an issue with any of them, but just one of them, that still means no, they do not have a drinking problem. Anyone that answers yes to 2 or more will, yes, have a drinking problem. So 2, 3, and 4 will be coded as 2. Now we want to make sure we remember this when we add it in here. So we're going to label each of these 1 and 2 later on, but let's just put this in the...